This is a hip joint mobility sequence suitable for everyone, including runners and GAA players. Start in standing, take your feet wider than hip width apart as shown. Check that both sides of your pelvis are level. Then keeping your feet flat on your mat, you're going to start off by keeping the chest tall, bend both knees and hips to come down towards the floor. As you do it, you want to keep your upper body parallel to the wall in front, not bending at the waist, just staying nice and tall and upright. Let the work come from the knees and then the hips. Aim for 8 to 10 reps. On the 10th one, stop and let's pulse in this inner range position. Keep breathing, keep your pelvis level. On the 10th rep, let's walk the feet a little bit wider apart so we can get even deeper down into that movement, and aim for another 8 to 10 reps. Taking your time, breathing out on the way down, in on the way up. Exhale down, inhale up. Again, aiming for about 8 to 10 repetitions, keeping your feet flat, pelvis and chest parallel to the wall in front. And on the last one, stay down and aim for another 10 reps of those deep pulsed movements. Keep breathing as you do it, keeping your pelvis level. When you've warmed up, then come down onto the floor into a sitting position. Pop your hands slightly behind you to give you a little bit of support. Bend both knees up, and then we'll start on the left leg as shown, bringing that left knee inwards and outwards. Bringing the knee inwards into internal rotation and outwards into external rotation of the hip. Try not to force the movement. Go as far as you can in either direction and use your breath to help. Exhale to open, inhale to close. As you move through the repetitions, you should find that you'll start to get a little bit further each time. Aim for about 10 again, then move to the opposite side. So we'll just show you from a different view what you're doing. Swap to the opposite leg and let's rotate out and rotate in. Rotate out and rotate in. Again, not forcing that movement. You're using the upper body, the arms, just to keep you nice and controlled. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. When you're done then, we're going to bend both knees. Let's sit as shown with both knees and hips bent to 90 degrees. You're going to turn then and lean down over the right hip. So you can see your right foot is on your left thigh, your left foot slightly behind you, and you're leaning down over that right hip. Then turn. Let's lean down over the left hip and knee. Aim to get your breastbone, your sternum in line with your thigh bone and your knee. You mightn't get as far on that second side. It's a little bit stiffer and harder. And then swap it over to the opposite side. So we'll go to the easier side first, which in this case is the left. We're leaning down over that left thigh. Get a nice deep stretch through the glute muscles. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. With each exhale, see if you can lower yourself a little bit further. Then we're moving to the more challenging side again. You won't get as far on this side. If there's any major pinch in your hip, maybe come out of that position. Then we'll turn back over into a sitting position, this time with the legs in a nice long lever position, so both knees are straight. Again, using your hands to give you a little bit of balance behind. And then we're going to work on some inner range hip flexor movements. Inner range hip flexor strength. So you're straightening the knee and just lifting, letting that leg, that long lever leg, float up off the mat. And alternating sides, letting your hip flexors do the work, your quads do the work. As you lift and lower, exhaling to lift, inhale to lower. Nice inner range hip flexor strengthening and mobility work. Try not to arch your back or feel any tension or stress through the lower back here, all in the front of the hip and thigh. When you've done that then, aiming for about 10 reps on each side, let's come up to a kneeling position. A high kneeling position, we'll take the right foot out in front. Again, ensure that both sides of your pelvis are level. Keep the pelvis neutral, tailbone tucked in slightly, and the collarbones open wide. We're going to reach forward into that nice stretch, interlock the hands, bring them overhead. And as you breathe out, let's bend away from the side that you're stretching. So in this case, it's your left leg on the ground. Let's bend away. Come back up, drop it down, and let's swap over to the other side. Again, pelvis is level on either side. Tailbone is tucked in. Chest is open nice and wide. We're leaning forward, getting that stretch this time on the right thigh. Lift the hands overhead. And let's move away from that right thigh to really open up the front and side of that hip. Breathing in to hold, breathing out to release. And we'll finish off bringing our knees nice and wide apart, our two big toes together. We'll sit back on our heels and let's hold this stretch for another couple of seconds. This mobility sequence is ideal at the end of a workout to really work on your hip joint mobility. And even you can use it as a warm-up as well.